Building wealth is just common sense, and today I'm going to teach you why. But here's the thing, if it's really just common sense, why are 64% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck? The truth is, what should be common sense has become anything but common practice in our society today. So today, I am going to break down the exact 5-step plan that can take you from being broke to being really wealthy in 2026. Stick around, because I'm going to reveal the one mindset shift that separates wealthy people from everyone else, and it's probably not what you think, but you have the ability to obtain it easily. But look, I get it. When you're living paycheck to paycheck or just broke in general, the idea of building wealth feels like someone telling you to fly to the moon. You're probably thinking, easy for you to say, I can barely afford groceries, let alone invest money. I understand that is hard. There are times where I've forgone investing money just to buy another fast food meal at Culver's or Chick-fil-A. I'm human and imperfect as well. But here's what I've learned. Building wealth isn't about making money first, it's about changing how you think and manage the money you already have. And the beautiful thing about 2026 is that we have more tools, apps, and opportunities than ever before to start building wealth. Even if you're starting with almost nothing, the 5-step plan I'm going to share with you isn't theory, it's the exact process that millions of people have used to go from broke to financially free. And the best part, you can start today regardless of your situation. So here we go, let's start with the first step. It sounds simple and it's where most people end up failing actually, which is living below your means. This doesn't mean living like a monk or never having fun. It means spending less than you earn and being intentional about where your money goes. Here's the harsh truth. If you're spending everything you make, you'll never build wealth. No matter how much money you earn, I know of people who make $100,000 who are broke and people making $40,000 who are building serious wealth. The difference isn't income, it's spending habits. Living below your means starts with knowing where your money actually goes. Most people have no idea. They know their income, but they couldn't tell you how much they spend on food, entertainment, or random Amazon purchases. Start by tracking every expense for just 1 month. I know, it sounds boring and tedious, but this one exercise will open your eyes to where your money is disappearing. You'll probably find $200 to $500 per month in spending that you didn't even realize was happening. The goal isn't to cut everything out you enjoy, it's about being intentional about your spending. Maybe you realize you're spending $300 a month on DoorDash, Uber Eats, or just food delivery in general, and you could just meal prep for $100. There's $200 a month you're saving that you could be investing, which is $2,400 per year. Now, if you're dead set on not having enough money, which I would argue probably isn't the case, after cutting most of your unnecessary purchases, I have 2 secret ways to help you out. One will help you make more money, and the other will help you keep more money. I will be sharing that later, but let's go ahead and move on to step number 2. Before you can start building wealth, you need to eliminate the wealth destroyers, and the biggest wealth destroyer in America is debt, especially high interest credit card debt. Here's why debt is so dangerous. If you're paying 22% interest on credit card debt while trying to invest money that could earn 7% in the stock market, you're losing 15% of every dollar. It's like trying to fill a bucket, but there's a giant hole at the bottom of that bucket. The debt snowball method is the most effective way to pay off debt, and it's simple. List all your debts from smallest to largest balance, make minimum payments on everything, and throw every extra dollar at the smallest debt until it's gone. Then, take that payment and apply it to the next smallest debt. There are some experts out there that will recommend you paying off the highest interest rate first, which is actually called the debt avalanche method, and mathematically, I'm gonna be honest, they're right. But building wealth is more about psychology than math. If it was about math, everybody would be rich, but we're not. The math is easy, but the determination and the will to do and play out that math is not easy. The debt snowball gives you quick wins to keep you motivated to continue, so that's why we go with that one. Again, here is the key. While you're paying off debt, don't take on any new debt. Cut up the credit cards if you have to. I know that sounds extreme, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You can't build wealth while you're drowning in debt. And speaking of building wealth, once you're debt free, you're going to have a powerful tool that most people never experience, the ability to save. Once you're debt free, every dollar you were sending to credit card companies can now go towards building your wealth. This is where the magic starts to happen. Your first savings goals is an emergency of $1,000. This isn't for vacations or Christmas gifts for your kids. This is for actual emergencies like car repairs or medical bills. This small buffer prevents you from going back into debt when life happens. After you have the $1,000, work towards 3 to 6 months of expenses in your emergency fund. I know this sounds like a lot, but remember, you're debt free now, so you have more money available than you ever had before. The key is to pay yourself first before you pay anyone else. Treat your savings like a bill that must be paid. Most people try to save whatever's left over at the end of the month, but there's never anything left over. We end up buying video games, fast food, really anything, and a successful savers save first then live on what's left. Again, this saving process can feel like a drag, and when you're listening to me explain this, it sounds boring, and I completely understand what you're feeling too. But that's why later in this video, I'll be sharing the #1 mindset shift that can accelerate your money's growth that only the rich people have. But for now, let's move on to step number 4. This is where your money starts making money, and it's the step that separates people who stay middle class from people who build real wealth. I'm talking about investing. Let me be clear, investing isn't gambling, and you don't need to be a stock market genius to succeed. The wealthy don't get rich by picking individual stocks or timing the market. They get rich by investing consistently in low-cost index funds over long periods of time. An index fund is like buying a tiny piece of hundreds of different companies all at once. Instead of trying to pick the next Apple or Amazon, you own a little bit of everything. This spreads out your risk and captures the overall growth of the economy, which is usually trending upwards. Again, start with what you can afford. You can usually open an investment account with most brokerages for $0 and start investing with as little as $1. The amount doesn't matter, just start. Here's the most important rule of investing: time in the market beats timing the market. Don't try to wait for the perfect time to start. There is no perfect time. The best time to start investing was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. But investing is just truly the beginning of what true wealth building is. The final step is what separates the wealthy from the truly wealthy. Step 5, building generational wealth. This final step is thinking beyond yourself and building wealth that can impact your family for generations. But here's the trick: as your wealth grows, you'll be tempted to inflate your lifestyle. Don't. The biggest mistake people make when they start building serious wealth is lifestyle inflation. They get a raise or their investments grow and they immediately upgrade their car, move to a more expensive apartment, or start eating out more often. This keeps them trapped in the same financial position despite earning more money. Generational wealth is built by people who continue to live below their means even as their income grows. This doesn't mean like living like a bum forever. Once you start building sustainable wealth, you can absolutely enjoy some of it. Take nice vacations, buy quality items that bring you joy, and live comfortably. But the key is moderation. Enjoy your success without sabotaging your family's future. The goal is to reach a point where investments generate enough income to cover your expenses. This is called financial independence in its finest, and it's the ultimate goal of wealth building. When your money works harder than you do, you have true freedom. But now that we've completed the 5-step journey that I think will set you up for financial success, let me share the secret strategies that can cut years off your wealth building journey. Secret number 1 is to start a side hustle or business. The fastest way to build wealth isn't to save more, it's to earn more. Every extra dollar you earn can be invested, and every dollar invested today is worth much more than in the future. A side hustle doesn't have to be complicated. Drive for Ubers on weekends, freelance a skill you already have, or sell things online, or start a small service business. The goal is to generate extra income that you can immediately invest. The beautiful thing about side hustle income is that you're not dependent on it for survival, so you can invest 100% of it. This accelerates your wealth building dramatically. Secret number 2 is to choose cheap hobbies. Americans spend an average of $1,986 per year on entertainment and hobbies. That's money that could be invested instead. I'm not saying you can't have hobbies, but choose ones that don't constantly drain your wallet. I disc golf, it's extremely cheap. I play chess, it's extremely cheap. Instead of expensive hobbies like golf or boating, consider hiking, reading, learning new skills online, or working out at home. These hobbies can be just as fulfilling, but at a fraction of a cost. Secret number 3, which is the huge mindset shift that all truly wealthy people have, is to develop a delayed gratification mindset. This is literally the heart of becoming wealthy, and it's the hardest skill to develop in our instant gratification culture. Delayed gratification means choosing long-term benefits over short-term pleasures. Every time you choose to invest $100 instead of spending it on something you want, you're practicing delayed gratification. That $100 invested today could be worth $1,000 in 30 years. You're trading a small pleasure today for a much larger benefit in the future. Wealthy people have mastered this skill. They drive older cars so they can invest more, they live in modest homes so they can build larger portfolios, and they pack lunches so they can fund their retirement accounts. The key is to start small. Instead of buying that $50 item you want, invest the money instead. Watch your investment account grow and celebrate those milestones. Train your brain to get excited about building wealth instead of buying stuff. Which leads us to secret number 4, make the decision to start today, not tomorrow. The biggest obstacle to building wealth isn't lack of knowledge, it's procrastination. destination. People say they'll start investing when they make more money, when they pay off their debt, when they have more time to research, or when the market conditions are better. But here's the truth, there is never going to be a perfect time to start. There will always be an excuse, a reason to wait, or something else that becomes more urgent. The people who build wealth are the ones who start before they feel ready. You don't need to have everything figured out to begin. You don't need to understand every investment strategy or have thousands of dollars saved. You just need to take the first step. Open an investment account today, set up an automatic transfer, buy your first index fund. The amount doesn't matter, the action matters. You can always increase it later, but you can't get the time back you lose by waiting. Again, something we talked about earlier in this video is budgeting. If you want to stretch every dollar you have further and eat well on a budget, check out this next video where I rank the best and cheapest fast food options. I'll show you exactly where to get the most bang for your buck and share money saving hacks you can use every time you eat out. Thanks for watching and peace out.